earlier when we ran that analysis, we now need to make an APA style graph for this interaction. That's part of our poster. People are gonna expect that. So we kind of want to make this graph right here, but it's not right. It's ugly. These Jamovi graphs are the worst thing. I wish we could just pull the graphs out of it. So what I have to do is I have to take this marginal means table from right here, and I'm going to use this to recreate the graphs in Excel. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to this simple slopes graph, all continuous. So the first one has a categorical predictor, but once you know how to use this one, you should know how to use the other one. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my variables. So the first thing I notice is that, I need to make the right graph for this situation. I need to get some of these marginal means put in this graph to make our life easier. So you're like, well, how do I do that? It's a very solid question. The first thing I have to do is just say low agreeableness in there. And this is going to be low agreeableness. And I'm just choosing this because it's first, okay? And this is high agreeableness and high agreeableness. And then my other factor is emotional stability. So instead of implicit self-esteem, I put emotional stability here. This should work for if you follow my steps, this should work for any analysis. All right, emotional stability here. Perfect. So I have to name my DV, which is openness to experience. All right. So ultimately, now what I have to do is I have to put the values for emotional stability here. So I'm looking here, it's 2.945. That's low. That's low emotional stability, but let's go 2.9945. And then I put 4.2427, 4.2427. And then I put 5.4910. So I'm just putting these three numbers right here. And I made a little typo, so watch your typos. It happens. And then I look at my marginal means. I got 5.0572, 5.0572. I got 5.3682, and I got 5.6792. I just took these three marginal means. 5.6792. High agreeableness. So I'm going to skip this middle section right here. I'm just going to go low and high. I left out middle. Look at this, says note. Mean, negative. Like negative mean is -1 standard deviation. U is the mean. Positive is mean plus 1 standard deviation. So this is -1 standard deviation on emotional stability. Mean of emotional stability, positive standard deviation, 1 standard deviation above the mean on emotional stability, so high emotional stability. right? So those are the same numbers for all three groups. I'm just going to be lazy here and paste it in. Okay, now let me change these marginal means to 5.2484. 5.2484. 5.4244 and 5.6003. And it kind of magically worked for us. You know, there we go. There we go. That is all you need to do to get your multiple regression slopes. Now, I do have another one. This first simple slopes graph, it's one of the variables are a categorical variable, white versus BIPOC. This is actually Tia's analysis. You can see what I did here to get her analysis based on the information here. So white, BIPOC. These numbers go here. These numbers go here, right? You see that because I switched it for some reason. I don't know why. I should, whatever. But you can see I put BIPOC on the bottom and I put white on the top, even though BIPOC's on the top and white's on the bottom. It happens. And I put the DV there, whatever. If you have this type of multiple regression, that's all you need to do. Now, I think Connor is the only one with logistic regression. So I did this for Connor, both the interaction and a single predictor. Okay. If you get logistic regression, just come see me. We'll do it together. But I figured I'd show you how to do it. So this is how you use the graph maker to get your graphs for multiple regression and logistic regression. Logistic regression is the one where you are predicting if they made a hard attempt or not. All right. That should be it for the graph maker.